How's it going, guys? Welcome to Bolt Banter. It's your boy Curtis Gevram here, and we also have Kendrick. Kendrick, how's it going?
What's up, San Diego? Another week of Chargers news. Let's cover it.
Yeah, today was a big day. But on this episode today, we're going to be recapping the Chargers initiative, which was released today, a 110-page document. We'll just be kind of recapping. We won't go through all of it and really pick apart too much of it because it is so long and so dense.
110 pages.
110 pages.
If you were a congressman, you got some stuff. You got some work to do tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely.
We'll also be chatting about the possibility of Myles Jack playing a safety position for the Chargers.
Woo!
And we'll be touching on Buckner's visit to San Diego and updating the most recent free agency moves for the San Diego Chargers. All right, so to start it off, this whole stadium initiative, I'm just going to go through a bunch of facts that have just been really just pooped out through Twitter and the internet.
Power
really
of the radio.
What's that?
The power of the radio.
Yeah.
Everyone covering
radio,
it on San Diego.
Twitter. So here we go. Today, San Diego Chargers basically released a initiative plan that discussed their financial plan and how they want to go about constructing this convention center stadium operation. So it's a $1.8 billion convenium opening as soon as 2022 is the most likely accurate date. So the way they're going to pay for it is that 650 mil of NFL and Chargers money will pay for part of that, and then the remaining 350 of the stadium will be paid through a tax increase in hotel tax in San Diego, and it will increase from 12.5 to 16.5, which to me is not that huge of a deal because it doesn't affect San Diego local fans, but it just increases the tax for hotels on those visiting San Diego. The plan would contain a 65,000 seat stadium with the possibility of expanding with 10,000 more seats for a Super Bowl. It'll also include luxury boxes. The Chargers would agree to a lease for the stadium for 30 years once the construction was finished, and they would not relocate in 30 years. It says the new convention center would total about 385,000 square feet, but I think that's still kind of up in the air depending on where it is in relation to the stadium. Still undecided would be if it would be below the field. There's an idea of putting it below the field, the convention center, or alongside it. So that's undecided. Now it's kind of just the general facts and the highlights that I picked apart from just listening to the radio and paying attention to Twitter. Now, what's interesting is that Chargers and San Diego don't really know for the voting later on November if it will require a 2/3 percentage approval of votes or a 51% approval by voters. And so that's something to be considering when keeping this all in mind. Also, there were different statements released by the convention center, the mayor, Councilman Sherman, and Fred Mass, the guy who's headed this whole stadium operation recently. So the convention center said that they're basically not on board with this idea of an off-site expansion. They would like to expand the current convention center. So that's discouraging, but that's their personal, professional statement. They've wanted an on-site expansion, and that doesn't coincide with what the Chargers are trying to do. Mayor Buckner says he will take time to carefully look through everything and keep San Diego's best interest in mind. Councilman Sherman said he feels that the Chargers are choosing the path of the most resistance at first glance, and he is not encouraged by it. And then Chargers Fred Mass says, and pretty much very much accentuates that this whole thing is going to be paid by the hotel tax increase, and that no one in San Diego will be paying an extra dime out of their money or as taxpayer money to pay for this new stadium. Now, with all that in mind and all the back and forth debate, Kendrick, we saw that our own Ben Higgins did his own poll and basically asked San Diegans, hey, with all this in mind, everything you've gathered from today and everything that's been said on the radio, Twitter, would you support it? 54% would support it, 41 opposed, and 6% are not sure. And to me and Kendrick, that is very surprising. But with all that in mind,
To Ben,
Kendrick,
it's
what are your
surprising
thoughts
too.
on all of this?
Yeah, and Ben mentioned also that he was very surprised by it too, and thinks that it looks good for a 2/3 vote, getting that there. I think the biggest thing that a lot of people are focusing on, a lot of the negative talk, is on how council members don't like the hotel tax.
Mm-hmm.
I think that regardless of their political views, that's the way to pay for it from the San Diego side. Best thing for the city. We talked about that also being a hotel tax for Mission Valley, if that was an option, rather than it just coming from taxpayer dollars for the Mission Valley site. The convention center, of course, the convention center doesn't want to, compromise with the Chargers. But in my personal opinion, Chargers are way more important than any kind of convention we could have here. Okay, Comic-Con is huge, but it's not as big as the Super Bowl. Let me tell you that much right there. Okay, any year of Comic-Con, when Comic-Con would already think about bailing, even if the convention center did their own expansion, we could have a Super Bowl here as early as 2023. Absolutely, that's a big one. I support this. I think it's way better than what the city came up with. I think there's going to be a lot of back and forth, as they read over the document, as they find the little loopholes. My whole thing is that the city comes back, they come back with a rebuttal, and the Chargers come back. And as they compromise, as they work out the numbers, I think this is what we see on the ballot. I think that San Diego voters, you are going to vote on a convention center and stadium expansion. And it's going to be up to you guys to really voice your opinion. Charger fans come together. And if this doesn't work, they will go to LA. Absolutely believe that. This is the last ditch effort. I think this is the way to go. I would love Petco Park, Convention Center, Stadium, downtown, blowing it up. It would be awesome. What do you think, Curtis?
I love it. It's not encouraging to see, certain politicians not be for it and the convention center not for it. But in all fairness, they're going for it. They have, they're creating an option to have, a convention center space. Now, that to me, that doesn't count out that the convention center can also be expanded on its own. You know what I'm saying? So, as you've seen over the years, Comic-Con has expanded a lot and then expands every year. So the Chargers are just taking it in their own hands that they're going to have this convention center expansion. Now, it would be a public space, but they're being smart in that they're being so proactive about it. You know what I'm saying? To where they're leaving it really up to the power of the San Diegans and the people to keep their team, and the fact that they will not pay any extra money as taxpayers and will solely basically be paid for on hotel tax, which it's a small percentage increase, and I'm sure it's a lot of money in the bigger picture in terms of hotel rates. It's maybe a lot of money, maybe like I don't really know honestly, but it brings up hotel rates, I'm sure, as a result. But to me, San Diego is a huge destination for anyone in the U.S. and in the world. So why wouldn't you take advantage of that and really use that to your best advantage with the hotel tax? So I'm all for it. I hope that we can show up to the polls in a very positive way. And I think that this poll that Higgins has done is a great reminder that maybe we're ready to do it. Maybe we're ready. This is the time, it's on paper, it sounds great. And that's why I think it'll be passed, because no taxpayer money will be used.
It's looking good. It's looking real good. Fred Mouse and his team did exactly what they were hired to do. All right. A lot of other teams out there, a lot of other people that we're not going to talk about, they've been sitting on these plans for 12 years. And, This is a guy who came in. He's been involved with the San Diego mayoral race, things like that. This is a guy who gets results, him and his team. Fred Moss is doing big things for Dean Spanos. I dig it. They're doing great. They're doing really good. They want to be in the city. They gave us a great plan. Now it's all up to the council members, all those guys, come back, do it for the people. Let's get it done.
Do it for the people. We got to show up as Charger fans ready to vote. And moving on, I know it's a big subject, but we kind of just want to get that out of the way, say our opinions. We'll come back later near the end to see what you have to say. But for right now, moving on to a very interesting topic that kind of came up today as well and kind of flew under the radar, but Kendrick and I caught it. So there's talks of Myles Jack from UCLA that he could play safety for the Chargers. Now, he was a linebacker, safety, cornerback, running back machine at UCLA. And in an interview with UT, he's basically said that he was requested to do DB drills for the Chargers, and the Chargers were interested in him possibly playing safety. Kendrick, what are your thoughts on that? It's kind of a shocking thing to really think about.
Yeah, I woke up to the news alert that Myles Jack, linebacker UCLA, being scouted by the Chargers. Really sleeper hit here. We kind of talked about how we don't really need him with Denzel Perryman, Monte Teo, all those guys. But at safety, really interesting. He name drops Eric Weddle here, that he thinks that he could be the next Eric Weddle and fill that in. When you have a guy like Jalen Ramsey there, it makes you wonder with the talk that Jalen Ramsey could go to the Browns, and then this story coming out, it kind of stacks on each other that if the Chargers were looking at secondary and Jalen Ramsey wasn't there, they would go Myles Jack. And like I was telling Curtis, the biggest comparison I can make here is Deion Buchanan on the Arizona Cardinals going from strong safety to linebacker. And Deion Buchanan went from 220, quick safety right there next to Tyrann Mathieu, put on about 20 pounds as he moved down to linebacker, and that was huge for his career and what he did for the Cardinals. Myles Jack has that ability. He has ability to be running back. He was great at UCLA. I think that if we were going to draft him, we would have to tell him we were going to do it. We would tell him you're going to be safety. You're going to play in this secondary. And he would have to go and get lean right away. He'd have to get this linebacker build. He'd have to get down, get lean, get fast. But Myles Jack has that ability to it. He's not my guy. Hashtag Team Buckner all day. But very interesting. Very interesting that the Chargers would even consider that. I really like it. I like that they're weighing their options with all these great players.
Mm-hmm. And I like that, to me, it seems like Telesco and basically all of our scouting members or scouts are really just thinking outside the box, and they see this guy who's athletic and quick and he can tackle and can cover. And to me, the only thing that could keep him from becoming a safety would be his bulkier size. Like you were saying, if he were to slim down, it could be a very interesting and game-changing conversion from his size to a thinner athlete. I'm not fully on board yet, but I wouldn't count out the idea myself personally. I'm curious to see where this all goes from here. I feel like there's a lot of eyes on Myles Jack, so we'll see how it all plays out. But I guess we'll see come draft day if he's if we get Buckner, maybe he's the next pick at 35. I don't know. I'm not on board with the idea.
You think Myles Jack would fall to 35?
Nah, probably not.
What? No way he would even pass the Jacksonville Jaguars. Absolutely not.
No way. Oh
my goodness. But let me tell you about that guy, Ryan Kelly. We'll talk about that next week. Ryan Kelly, center, Alabama. Get stoked on that Bull Banter team. He's coming.
If they're interested in that as safety, though, that's what I'm saying, though. To me, they're going to get Buckner or Ramsey. So being interested of him as a safety, I don't see it happening unless maybe they trade down and lose both Ramsey and Buckner and Bosa.
Your boy Ronnie Stanley, offensive tackle, Notre Dame. Let me tell you about that guy, Mel Kiper. Let me tell you about Todd McShay.
Us to draft Stanley.
That's it.
But other than that, also kind of news today and recently, our boy Buckner was visiting the Chargers facility and was in San Diego meeting with people from the Chargers, representatives. And I'm sure Tom Telesco, I'm sure McCoy shook his hand too. And I'm sure he went out to a nice steak dinner somewhere.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine at Donovan's Steak and Shop House, sitting down, cutting into your porterhouse, DeForest Buckner and Tom Telesco and Mike McCoy walking in that restaurant? Oh my goodness. To be a fly on the wall in that room.
Yeah.
Oh man. Team Buckner.
You know Pagano was there too.
And let me tell you, my biggest point here, love Jalen Ramsey, but I'm Team Buckner all day. Let me tell you something. You take your prom date is always the first choice. Your prom date's always the first choice. You never go with the other options. First one you take out on the date, that's the one you take it to prom. So let me tell you right now, Team Buckner, get your popcorn ready.
Yeah, dude, it's looking like Team Buckner is that's the way that Chargers are feeling, that they're on Team Buckner right now, which is great. I'm stoked for it, and we'll see. It's great.
I can't wait to see
San Diego. It makes me happy.
Where do you take Jalen Ramsey to dinner now? Do you take him to the nice Isles of Coronado? I don't know. Back to Donovan's? Let's see.
We will see. We'll keep you updated if he's in San Diego. So kind of a free agency update. The Chargers signed QB Bryn Renner, who I honestly have not heard of, and they re-signed Jaleel Addae. So it turns out Bryn Renner has played 1 year in the NFL.
Tennessee Titans. Ken Wisenhunt.
He played at UNC for the Tar Heels. Could be good.
I think Wiz is just bringing in a backup, a guy that will probably be on our practice squad, someone that he likes to work with, someone to be a project. I think he just really liked Brent a lot. I think he really liked working with him, and he's going to just make a career move for the guy. So really dig that. Don't think he's going to be our future. Maybe we'll draft little baby Rivers in the 5th round.
Oh, man. That's some people's dream, but I don't know if that'll happen.
But Jaleel Addae, though, bringing him back.
Huge.
Like I told you, it's a prove yourself contract. Prove yourself to us. Strong safety in this role if you're going to be our guy for the future. I love Jaleel Addae. He's the predator. All I got to see him doing is staying healthy and making smart hits, not leading with the crown of your helmet. Him and Perryman, watch for these young guys going with the shoulder moves now, going with these shoulder hits as they come down on guys. Very excited to see him and Jason Verrett.
I'm super excited. And it's funny because I didn't really even consider them not re-signing him, but they did take their time. I'm glad he's back. We need him. Him and Lowry will be great. Well,
they did the little second-round tender thing. Got that done.
That's right.
And then once that pushed through as a restricted free agent, they were hey, we've made our free agency moves. Weddle wasn't going to happen, so they have a little bit more money. Then they can sign Addae to a real contract. So love seeing that.
That being said, that is pretty much all we have for you. Now, if you liked what you heard today, there's more videos just like this one coming your way. And you bet it's going to get crazier as we get closer to the draft and as the season comes about. So please subscribe if you haven't already. If you like this video, go ahead and like it. And comment an answer to this question, knowing now that as a San Diegan or someone that lives in San Diego, your taxes will not go up. Would you personally vote for the Chargers, yay or nay, and why? Also, make sure to follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, find us on iTunes podcasts and SoundCloud as well. And we want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Bolt fam. And thanks for all the Bolt fans from Chargers Reddit. You guys are huge supporters for our videos.
Chargers
we appreciate
Reddit,
you very much.
The family. Bolt Banter fan. I got to say,
go for it.
2 big internet communities we got to give it out to. Chargers Reddit and Save Our Bolts. Love both of them. Absolutely. Coming through. Thank you for the support. We appreciate it.
All right, Chargers fans. So what a great day that we see hopefully another step towards the Chargers staying. And we will see as this whole stadium development continues.
The saga, the great drama as it plays out.
A lot of information today, but hope you guys enjoyed hearing it all from us. And yeah, once again, let us know what you think about the Chargers initiative and if you support it, yay or nay, below, and why. Thanks for watching again, guys. This has been Bolt Banter, and we'll see you next time.
Bolt up, San Diego.
Bolts up.